One. Hi there. You are listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media, all of our platforms and networks. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That gentleman out there is
Matt Metris in wintry Rochester, New York.
You got snow, do you?
Oh yeah, man. And unlike the last few winters, normally we get a big storm and then it melts and then we
Yeah.
get more and it's just sort of accumulating. It hasn't melted, so.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we're finally getting rain and snow in California, which is about time. The mountains are packed with snow, but we had fires in the summertime. So now, houses are starting to like fall down hills and stuff. So
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Never a
well,
good sign.
that's what happens. We only have three seasons. That's fire, flood, mudslides, and earthquakes. We have four seasons. So um, what we're going to do today, and I'm a little excited about it because it's a brand you folks may never have seen. This called Masuave. It's kind of a play on words. It's a compound word that doesn't really exist, but it means more smooth. So
Fair enough.
and I like the hammered look of this bottle. They kind of make it look like it's hand blown, which it probably is, but it's cast. But I like that hammered look.
Yeah, it's got a nice taper to it too. It's a very elegant looking bottle.
Yeah. This is. I think what we're going to do is we're going to taste it first, like we always do, and then we'll give you all the ins and outs and stats and stories. So this is the Blanco, which, according to the information we have here, this is a triple distilled. I haven't had a triple distilled in a while.
Yeah, it's not something we see very often.
Well, we did for a while, and then depending on the distillery, I believe the La Cofradía, where they make Casa Noble, a lot of theirs are triple distilled. But anyway, I'm going to use my Stazo Jarrito.
Same here.
For a tequila, and put this up. Nice cork on it. It's a very simple bottle, but very elegant.
Looks like real cork too. We see a lot of synthetic corks, but
yeah, or maybe is that a compound? It's probably a compound of some sort.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of shimmer to it that doesn't seem to be from the tequila.
Yeah, no, but that's okay too because it's as close to a real cork without it leaching into your, you know how cork does, it just disintegrates sometimes. But anyway, nice and clear, nice and clean. I like it. I like how it looks. Let's see if I can get some legs and tears going. A little bit.
Yeah, not a ton, but
yeah, maybe as it open. Well, you just popped yours open.
I did.
Okay, I had a little bit of this one, and then tried to hide it from myself. But
you got to leave enough in the bottle for us to record.
Well, yeah, and to taste at the end of the year when we do the Brands of Promise. So it's very clear. It shimmers. Visually it's attractive, and it's got, now we get in the legs and tears. Very pretty. And it's not very thick. They're just right. I think, it's not clinging to the glass too much, but it's just very pretty. So what are we getting from this thing? Oh, hello. Hello. That first pass, that was cooked baked agave. That I got.
Tons of it, yeah. And some other more desserty notes that you wouldn't expect in a Blanco I got right away. Like I don't know. Like you getting any like vanilla? I feel like it's vanilla-y.
I didn't get any vanilla. To be fair, I had some, but it's been weeks since so I have no recollection of what it tasted like or smelled like. I just look at the bottle and go, oh, I must have liked it.
It's half empty. It must be good.
It must be good. I get more fruit. I get more Highlands fruit on it, like maybe an orange. Is that maybe what you're getting?
Could be, yeah. Yeah. That definitely could be. It caught me off guard. A lot of times with a Blanco, we get a lot of uncooked, ripe, raw agave in the plant, and we're not. It's definitely the baked.
Yeah, it's definitely baked. It's almost as if it was baked right away. I got like baked in a stone oven,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure if that's the case. I'm going to have to look at our notes.
It is the case.
It is the case.
Yeah.
Okay. See, what? Hey, I'm good. Am I good?
It's like you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah. Well, so number one, this is a baked in stone oven agave. So
Mm-hmm.
that tells me old school. All right. And when we explain to you where the distillery is, you'll understand because you may have had tequilas from this distillery. I'm ready to dive in. I'm getting a lot of that baked agave.
Yeah.
So you know what you probably got? Maybe a little bit of the caramelized agave.
That's what I'm thinking. Is those sugars that were caramelized is the sweetness that I'm picking up.
Yeah, but it's really it's madly baked. Wow. Wow, what a finish.
That is really different.
What a finish.
Yeah.
Wow.
I get a lot of pepper, spice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting a lot of agave. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I may have to go on a second pass here, but the aroma was definitely there, especially since I've had that bottle,
Mm-hmm.
put away for weeks. And I think it's going to have to open up a little bit more too, because there's no telling what else is in there. That is a way long finish. Holy cow!
It really is, yeah.
Yeah, what a long, and they triple distilled it, folks. So
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine that what this is like as a double distill. There's probably some really good punch to it,
Mm-hmm.
which is not, for me, is not a bad thing. I think, maybe the average consumer might not enjoy it because it's not smooth enough. But this won't get lost in any kind of cocktail, that's for sure.
Yeah, for real. And if you're marketing on a your name being more smooth, you're gonna want it to be more smooth.
I'm getting it's baked all the way around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're right. It's not the bright fruitiness or like fresh cut. This is baked agave that I'm getting.
Yeah, really, it's really prominent on the finish too. I feel like, and I'm tasting more of that as I had a couple more sips. I'm tasting more of that caramelization that we were talking about.
Oh, okay.
The aroma, yeah.
Yeah, there's at mid palate there's an explosion of pepper. And in the entry it's not as sweet as I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
But this is an old school style tequila because it reminds me a little bit of El Tesoro from years ago. Not that was before Beam actually bought it, and even though it's still overlooked and supervised by the Camarenas, by Carlos and now his daughters, I think they have refined the flavor palette of El Tesoro a little bit, but this reminds me a lot of. Wow, I haven't had a tequila like this in a long. These throwbacks. Yeah. This is like a throwback tequila, man.
Mm-hmm. Me neither.
Wow. You said this was like something. This was really apart from what you've had before.
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of get a stereotypical Blanco mindset, right, of what you want, what you expect it to taste like, and this definitely breaks that mold.
Yeah,
it's very unique. And they're doing a lot of unique things, like you said. They're triple distilled.
Right. So it must be. Let me give you the ins and outs, okay? The stats and stories. This is coming from NOM 1124. That's Tequilas del Señor. If you're unfamiliar with the distillery, you probably are familiar with some of the tequilas that come out of there. Herencia de Plata used to be big when I first started, 15, 20 years ago. Really good tequilas in simple bottles. And then one year they came out with Herencia del Señor, which was a 5-year extra aged añejo, and it used to come in a wooden box with a Riedel glass in it. and they were one of the first ones to come out with that. And I tell you, that 5 year was awesome. And then every year they came out with, like, a couple years later, they did a 7 year and a 14 year. And they also used to make Dos Lunas. I don't know if you remember Dos Lunas. That's where this comes from. So if you're familiar with any of those tequilas, this is where that distillery is. And but I don't recall them ever making a triple distilled Blanco, which is really unusual. It says, let me read you some of the sell sheet material they have here. They have each varietal, each expression has its own sell sheet. It is crystal clear. Fruits and peppers. Okay, they say they cold filtered, triple distilled, and it's rested for 6 days in new white oak barrels. So it's technically this is a Blanco Suave.
Yeah,
that's what I like to call it. Originally, Herradura was the first one to do that years and years and years ago, and they actually, in some of the old bottles, you can see it says Blanco Suave. They actually petitioned the CRT to put that on their label, even though it wasn't a category. And so they did that. Wow, so this is a throwback. I haven't even read any of this stuff.
Yeah, it's really uncommon to see a Blanco that's been aged for any period of time, and legally they can go up to 2 months. But
yeah, they can pull it right before they have to call it a reposado. And you know what's interesting is that even though it's cold filtered, I guess because what happened with Herradura was that you would see that was a Blanco Suave. It wasn't crystal clear like this is. It would have just a slight tinge to it to let you know that that's what happened. And I think during distillation they just didn't have the filtering technology like they do now, or they refuse to. I don't know, but yeah, it tastes like an old school, but it doesn't look like one, which is really interesting. It's a kind of a combination of old and new, technology, I guess. Masuave Blanco makes a perfect margarita. The Blanco appeals to vodka drinkers and folks who enjoy drinks by the shot. Oh no!
No, yeah, we're not encouraging that.
We're not going to do that. No. Anyway, this company, the company that brought this to us was a gentleman by the name of Bob Gastoff out of St. Louis. And this is what I guess it's primarily available right now in just St. Louis, because they even have one of those last ones has a liquor store where they have it called Friar Tuck's. Anybody in St. Louis available knows Friar Tuck beverage and wine and cheese place, both in St. Louis. So
we'll have to take a field trip.
Yeah. Hey. Well, what do we know about pricing? Do we know anything about pricing?
Yeah. Let me see here. The Blanco we have on the Total Wine website for $36. So that's really reasonable.
So now it's available at Total Wine, which is good. So the distribution is a little bit more widespread. It's not just in St. Louis now.
To be fair, it's on their website, but it looks like it's completely unavailable everywhere that you try to get it. So it's they have the pricing at least. Yeah.
Yeah, this is wow. I'm really impressed, and I guess there's a reason why I liked it. It's just because I haven't had a tequila. Dos Lunas, I think, has gone by the wayside. It's you don't see bottles of Herencia del Señor or they used to make one called Rio de Plata, and that was an amazing tequila in a real simple bottle, short, squat. I think
it's interesting because this one, the bottle kind of reminds me of Dos Lunas, in the kind of long, tall, tapered bottle too, with the agave on the front and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think you'll agree with me. It's a brand of promise.
Yeah. I still don't have a thing.
But. There you go. You lost the picture again, didn't you?
Yeah, I always do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our take on Masuave Blanco. But stick with us because we have the rest of the line, okay? And we'll read some of the notes in the back later on, probably in the Repo and the Añejo. But I like the Blanco. It's old school. I will tell you that it does carry a punch, even though it's triple distilled. But you being the cocktail, Meister, the mixologist.
Official
title, yeah. I think you're right. You won't lose this in any cocktail. As a matter of fact, it's probably enough character in it just to pour it over ice and soda.
Mm-hmm.
A nice, I think it'd be a great tequila and soda. So anyway, that's our take on Masuave. Hang with us because we've got the Reposado and Añejo coming up. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That gentleman out there is
Matt Metris in Rochester, New York.
You have been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that notification bell, give us a like, subscribe, because that way every time we upload a video, you get notified. And if you're listening to us on Spotify, please, subscribe there too, download it. And whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.